bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to 100.7 The Score. It's a Tuesday night in the high school fan zone. We're going to jump into the Westerner fan zone here in a minute. Juan Rodriguez is here. He's out talking to some of the guests who just left. He's going to join us momentarily. While he's doing that, we're going to run through the radio schedule this week on Raymar. Thursday night, Coronado heads up to Amarillo to take on Amarillo High, 96.9 The Bull. Kurt Kaiser and Trevor Miller will have you on that one. I believe their pregame is at 6:45 p.m. Friendship is at home against Odessa High, Double T 97.3 FM. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7. The Westerners, who we're going to talk a little bit more about, go up to Amarillo and take on Caprock. That is not on this air, but that's with Rob Bro and Mark Bro on the call. Lubbock Cooper's at home against Wichita Falls Memorial in a showdown in District 2 5A Division 2. That's right here on 100.7 The Score. Estacado at home has the Lowry Field game this Friday night against Borger. That's on a different network. That'll be Nick Long and Greg Norman on the call. Idalou goes to Littlefield on Sunny 97.7 FM. That's always going to be a great game just because of the tradition of those two schools. A couple other games. Got the 4 TAP schools that play football in town that'll be in action. Kingdom Prep's at home Thursday night against Midland Holy Cross out at Warwick Memorial Stadium. Trinity Christian is at home against Grapevine Faith at Warwick Memorial Stadium. Those two share that facility. Lubbock Christian goes on the road after their off week to play Covenant Christian in a key game in TAPS Division 3 District 1. And Christ the King is on the road up in Amarillo. They'll take on San Jacinto. I believe that's a 5 p.m. kickoff up there. The man, the myth, Juan Rodriguez is here. He was meeting. You're usually the most famous person that walks in the building, man.
Yeah. No, not compared to that young lady. Absolutely.
Well, Aaliyah and Ambrosia, I don't know if you heard, Aaliyah is Aaliyah. Aaliyah's the best player in the country.
Yeah.
Ambrosia may be the second best player that's ever played in Lubbock.
That's awesome.
That's how good she is.
Yeah.
Just fortunately, she plays with a great player.
Yes.
But that's a pretty good tandem to have. Jill Snyder has lived right. Jill has done a lot of good things through the years, but she must have lived right at some point to get those two. And there's some other talented girls on her team as well.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go ahead and wish them and all our district the best of luck because their basketball seasons come and go, are fixing to come up. So definitely, I love basketball. My brother was a head basketball coach for many years, and I was an assistant head basketball coach for a while, and actually got to coach with a guy named Joe Garman, who's one of our athletic directors for UIL with basketball. So definitely love the sport, definitely love to see it, love to watch it, love to go to the game. So it's just very interesting that, I got the chance to meet that young lady and then met the parents right out there, and they're sweet people and awesome, really happy for them and proud of them. And
did Mom tell you she's a Lubbock High graduate?
Yeah.
Ambrosia's dad's a Lubbock High graduate.
Yeah. They're Lubbock High people. And ironically, I was talking to Aaliyah's dad, and his parents are from Eagle Pass, which I'm originally from. So definitely a small world. And we just got talking out there. It was really enjoyable to listen to them and to just hear them talk and how proud they are of their daughter, and they should be. And, we all are, if you're not, she's an incredible young lady, but, to have someone else right next to her who's just as talented and good.
Yep.
So I'm wishing them, and of course our young ladies and our Coach Palmer and Coach Gibbs, the best of luck as they get ready for their basketball season. Well, looking forward to some great things from us.
Brett Palmer was on with us last week.
Yeah.
Had Izzy and Faith Ford. Your girls are going to be really good too.
Yes, they are.
They've been building towards this year for quite a while.
Absolutely. And I'm excited for us. I'm excited for the team that he's got. He's done a great job of putting together a great team. Hopefully they stay healthy. And I think that was one of the things him and I spoke of last year. We both went through that injury bug, and so I'm praying that they stay healthy, and I think it's going to be a great season for them. But it's definitely, like we talked about, it's a competitive district in every sport, volleyball, basketball, every sport. I think it's one of the top, districts in the state, to be honest with you. And I think it's extremely great talent, great teams. When you got the number one player in the nation, in your district, it speaks volumes. Absolutely.
And Izzy and Faith
they're pretty good too.
You start looking at lists, they pop up there pretty quick too.
They do too. And I think that's one of the most incredible things is to see them on just, on the recruiting list. And I think they're just as talented, of young ladies that work hard. I know Faith works extremely hard. I know Izzy works really hard.
Well, you get to spend a lot of time with Faith in football.
She does, man. I'll tell you what, I can't function without her. You know,
she told me that she does some hard work.
She does a lot of hard work for us, and she's a very, very talented young lady and just beautiful soul. You know, parents are great and, you know, very supportive of her doing this. Coach Ballmer's very supportive of her doing this. And it's something that I know if she's spoken of that she would like to continue to do at some point, you know, and I said, it's a great profession. You know, you do it great. And we're very blessed to have her, not just her, but a few other of our managers that do a fantastic job for us.
Well, here's another small world moment for you. Aaliyah's mom said that she was a student trainer with Pep.
Oh, wow.
At Lubbock High.
Well, you know, I'm kind of the realization, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Randy. I don't think there's anybody that hasn't been a trainer with Pep.
He's like the Kevin Bacon of Lubbock. Everybody's got a connection to Pep somehow.
You think of athletic training, you think of Pep, and you know, I started off last week at the luncheon by saying some of my positive phrases. You know, we're going to be okay. Things are going to be right. There's another tomorrow. There's always next year. And people thought I might have been talking about myself, but I was actually talking about his Oklahoma Sooners who lost to the Texas Longhorns. And then they come back and lose to Georgia this week. So
yeah, life in the SEC is not easy.
It's not easy. No, it's definitely not, man. And it's enjoyable to watch, but the talent out there is incredible. Just incredible to watch. I love watching those games.
Well, you touched on something, and we're going to briefly talk about last week about how tough your football district is. And you guys, you got Goliath last week. You got Abeline High in here, 69-14 loss. Talk to the guy who covered the game, though, for first half there. You guys showed some gumption, I probably just used an old man word that a lot of people don't know.
Well, I think you and I know what that word means. So
that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's, you know, what we used to call back in the day reckless abandon.
Yep.
You know, and that's how our kids play. You know, and they played so well and so good, and I was so proud of them. You know, call it what you like. You know, we're down still 20-something to 7, but for us, a moral victory, how well we played, and able to contain, you know, some things that they were able to do, and really they had some big plays, and we had some mistakes on offense, and we just couldn't get the ball rolling. But at the same time, I was really happy to see that our kids showed up to play, and you know, and they didn't back down. You know, unfortunately. You know, people adjusted to us when we were doing the second half. We tweaked our defense. Our defensive staff did a fantastic job of putting a great plan together, you know, just for this. And, you know, I was able to talk to some of their coaching staff afterwards. And, you know, they didn't expect us to do some of the things that we did. So I was just really proud of our staff and kids.
Well, we'll leave that conversation there because we're coming back after the break. We're going to talk about what lies ahead because there is a lot left for these Westerners to accomplish these last 3 weeks. We'll come back on the Western Fan Zone. They go up to Amarillo, take on Caprock at 7 p.m. Friday at Dick Bivens Stadium. We'll be back to talk more about that on the Western Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. That's Juan Rodriguez to the left of me, and we'll be back after the break.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We've got Lubbock High coach Juan Rodriguez over here to my left if you're watching on TV. We talked about last week. We're just going to leave that one in the rearview mirror.
Absolutely.
I know that's what you guys have done starting this week.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely
now,
not.
I will say this, when you step back, you guys, you don't get to pick your district schedule. You get handed that and you have to play it. I don't know that anybody's had the toughest 3 games to start things.
It would have been nice to have them spread out a little bit, you know, and
but like I said, you don't get to choose that.
I don't get to choose those, you know, those things, and you know, and I think there's just so much. I think, you know, like I tell the kids, we're still a good football team. We're just playing some great teams too, and we have to realize the talent that those and level of those kids, and they're consistent. You know, Monterey's. I think they've done a fantastic job. You know, they're extremely talented. You know, after the game, I spoke to Luke too, and then he came up. I told him how proud I was of him in that situation. I didn't get to tell you all that last time, but just definitely just watching Abeline, you know, and being able to compete for a half, I thought that was really good for our team. But they're well coached. Everyone does a fantastic job, and it's just one of those things that we need to continue to get better and just strive to improve in the things that we want to improve on. And that's just one play at a time. Like we've talked about it for the last 3 years. You just get, you know, have a good play, bad play, doesn't matter. The very more important play is the next one, and we want to continue to build on that. And just really proud of our kids and our staff and our coaches. And you know, we've got a lot of success going on, you know, and I think it's just, it may not be in the scoreboard, but I just to see a lot of progress with our kids, and I'm really just happy where we're at currently. And like I tell them all the time, not happy, you know, not satisfied, but happy that they're working on making improvement. And we're young. I mean, we've got 52 guys on our roster, and I think we get 38 back.
That's a nice number.
That really is.
Well, I can't remember if you're a math guy, but I don't know what that percentage is, but that's a nice percentage.
It's a pretty good percentage. I'm a math guy, but I don't say that too loudly because they always joke around. They're going to stick me in the classroom. No, I've got like 21 hours of mathematics and engineering in upper level classes, and so I really enjoy math. And a lot of the stuff that we do, I talk. Even when I talk to the kids, I talk in math. And you'll hear me say things like +1, -1, and it's incredible how much it's actually applicable.
If you can explain new math to me, then I'll give you credit for being a really good teacher. My high school, my Lubbock High Junior has tried to explain it to me, and it makes me feel like I'm old.
If they're in the third floor, they don't allow me up there.
There you go. I understand that.
Coach Rod, you second floor, you go down there.
Well, the good news is you guys are turning the page, and
absolutely.
The better news is that there's some story to still write when you turn that page, because you're 0-3 in district, but you're not out of the hunt.
No.
It starts with Caprock Friday night in Amarillo, and then Coronado here.
Yes, sir.
Obviously. And then you finish up with Amarillo High here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those are three teams that Amarillo High is in the hunt right now. They're, I believe, 2-1. They who do they play? They play Coronado Thursday night. Coronado's got a chance to take a big step. But you guys still, Lubbock High is not out of the mix. You have a chance. You've got three teams in front of you that if you take care of business, you're going to be in that equation. There's some more math.
It would be nice to be the X and it's still in that equation. And I think that's what we're shooting for. We talk to the kids. There's still a lot to fight for. There's still things, that we have goals for. Winning season's definitely one of those goals, and we still have the ability to get that. And and making the playoffs is always going to be something that we shoot for there. And those aren't the conversations we've had the first couple of years. It was always about getting but I think we're at the point when I tell the kids that we got to start thinking that way. And we got to start talking about that, because that's what is going to get us over the hump. Is that you got to believe that we can be in those situations. And I think if we just continue to improve again, I'm always going to go back to the little things, the simple things. We got to do a better job of tackling on an open space. I mean, a couple of those touchdowns, yes, great athletes, but we just didn't even get a chance to make a play because we weren't in the right place in the right angle. So, we talked about that all last couple of weeks, a couple of days here at practice, and just improving on those things. Our intensity at practice, we wanted to go back to how we were the first few weeks when we were winning some of those games. And I think, some of our players were ready to say that they needed to do that. And, and again, accountability, you don't play, you don't show up, you don't play. That's the rules. So making sure our kids are at practice, making sure they're taking care of their stuff in school. And that's always going to be a priority for us. And again, just building that culture that's going to take time. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Randy, but I've told them specifically a few times, there are no microwave solutions.
Nope.
To problems that have taken time to create. And for us, time stands as this I must earn. And we talk about that frequently and collectively as a staff too. So lot to go for. Still excited about the season, man. I'm ready to go Friday night.
There you go. And I'm going to guess that there's some kids who are ready to feed off of that energy. 7 p.m. Friday at venerable old Dick Bivens Stadium. I was just there last week. It's still a cool place to watch football. We'll be back with the final segment of the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. That's Juan Rodriguez, Lubbock High football coach.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock High Athletics. This is the Westerner Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back for one more segment of the Westerner Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. Westerners go up to Amarillo, take on Caprock at 7 p.m. Friday. Not on a Raymar station, but Rob Bro and Mark Bro will have that call. One, you saw what Caprock did against Coronado. They came out, got a huge, quick start, knocked Andrew Roy and his guys back, got ahead 22-0. Coronado came back and won that game. To me, that's, as a coach who's playing them next, that's a best-case scenario because you could show your guys, look, this is what Caprock did really well. This is how a team we know we're going to play eventually found a way to come back. So you have a little bit of both to show your guys.
It's like it's a win-win situation for us. I'm extremely proud of Coronado and the Mustangs and what Coach Roy does over there. We're close, very close friends, and just to see them come back and do that, that was definitely happy for him and excited for him and his program. For us, it's just an opportunity to learn and lessons learned. We definitely feel and I am for one, think Caprock is extremely good football program, good football team. They do a lot of great things. They do, especially offensively, they run a lot of different types of formations. They're going to keep you guessing. They do a good job of execution. Their own line is not as big as obviously as what we've seen, but they're not small either. And for us, I think anybody that we play is going to probably be a little bit bigger than we are. So we're definitely looking at some things and, to try to work on that and try to work on their scheme to defend it. And, defensively, they've got great kids that run hard to the ball and they get after you. So, I know that they like to bring a lot of pressure, and from what I was told, and I get to watch a little bit of that, but I spend most of my time watching the offensive guys and rely on my offensive dudes and my assistant head football coach to help me with that. And we just look forward to. I think it's going to be a great game, and I think they have the same type of mentality that we have. And that they're still out to improve something. So, right. And that's what I told the kids. This is going to be a battle because we're not going over there and owning anything. We're going to have to fight, and we're going to have to fight hard against a very good team that is looking to do exactly what we're doing. It's just to turn the page in their program. And their head coach and I have had some great conversations, and great coach. And, it's been really enjoyable getting to talk to him and meet him, as all of them in the district. And, so I'm just looking forward to a competitive game, and hopefully it's a great night for all of us, and hopefully we can come back with a win, but at the same time come back safe and sound and get back to Lubbock safely.
So I talked to Trinity Christian coach Riley White today. Similar situation to you. They played the number one team in TAPS 5A in there. Took it on the chin pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I said, I'll say the same thing to you. The best thing about that one, it's in the rearview mirror. Your guys can exhale. Now you face a team that you can match up with. You've
Absolutely.
got a chance to do some things against them, and they've had some success. But you guys physically and just schematically have a chance to match up against them.
Oh, very much, yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things we've got, one of our better linemen too is come back. One of our mature linemen, and and saying that he's been with us for a couple of years now, and that's Manny Espinosa. He's been out. We've had to rely on some youth there at that outside tackle position. So I know that our offensive coordinator and staff was excited to have him. Very, very happy that at this point in Junction, late in the season or almost late to the season, Dunkerson's still having some decent, success. Not what he wants, but he's still a grinder, and he's going to go out and play hard, play in and play out, because that's what he loves to do. And we also have some youth surrounded, our offense, but at the same time, defensively, I think we're peaking and we're starting to do some things. We're starting to mix in our coverages. We're starting to mix in a little bit more of our stunts. We're opening up that playbook and really looking into what we can do with our kids and how they can do it, and exploring some new opportunities to put them in situations, like I always say, for them to be successful. So really credit to our staff for being, in my own way of saying, being coachable, listening to the old man, of having some ideas. We've mixed in a 4-man front to a 3-man front and back and forth, and we're going to be able to move and shift and disguise our coverages coming up against Friday, and just improve on that and get better. I think, Coronado and is turning a corner with them. They're playing really good football, and they've played some really great football.
Yes.
Throughout this last few weeks. Where they've been in situations to be, they played really well against Tascosa. And against Monterey, and I think it's just one of those things that's going to be down to the grinder for all of us, and we're all looking for the same things, trying to find a way to get in.
Well, and I think we maybe talked about this a few weeks ago. You guys have some work to do, but you can't do anything until you go 1-0 this week.
That's right.
That's the only thing you can do, is win this week.
Amen.
And then take it from there.
And still looking to just continue to improve and, like I said, get better little by little. And looking forward to a great Friday night game.
Why don't you look forward to coming in and talking about a win next week?
I'm going to look. I've got my fingers crossed. I got my toes crossed. I got everything crossed. I'm going to church after this. No, I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, hey,
if it helps.
It's still early in the week. You've got some time. So
Absolutely.
We'll be back Wednesday night with the Tiger Fan Zone, the Pirate Fan Zone, the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. We'll see you tomorrow night.